Hi everybody, 3231, it's Matt again. Trying something a little different here. I was looking at a couple apps, looking at something here to mess around with, and I think I got something. It's not perfect, but it's something. Where if you look on here, I got the that way. I gotta remember that you're looking at me, so everything's. I'm in the lower right-hand corner, and everything's that way. So I gotta remember that. But yeah, there's a right there is the thing. Is the dice over here for 10,000 worlds. So I got I wanted to show the app. I got to plug in my phone too, by the way. Let me do that real quick because it looks at I'm 17%. Charge my dang phone. So there's that. Are we is Periscope running real quick? I'm gonna check something out real quick. Hold on right quick. Let me pull up Periscope. See if I am. Oh, Stewie's here. What's up, Stu? I am here. Hey, buddy. So, okay. I just want to make sure that that's working. Pull the dice back up here. All right. So, here's my desktop, and I pulled up this little app. Well, it's a couple apps, so to have my phone visible on have my phone visible on the computer. So, Neroth, hello. So right here I have an app where I can roll some dice. So part of the game right there is taken care of. The dice, so everybody can see the dice, everybody can see the roll. I mean, I'm rolling for everybody in this particular case, but I don't know, it's something. And I want to see if I can get some people to join us here that are familiar with role-playing games. So let me try something real quick. Hold on right quick. I could do Google Hangouts, I guess. Excuse me. Oh, I don't know if that was something just hit me in the foot. That hurt. Whatever that was. A saying too good. What's going on? Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining in the chat. Once again, we're on YouTube and Twitch and Periscope at the same time. So whatever anybody wants to take a look at us, feel free to take a look at us. Here we are. And so this here is the screenshot or screencast, I should say, of my my phone. Just the dice, though. And let's see if I can place it over here, back where it was. Oh, that's why, because I lifted it up a little bit, so that made it weird. Okay. So that's showing you my phone. And I have, it's DN Dice, I believe is the name of the app, DN Dice. It's got some cool stuff that you can do on it. You can make custom dice, 6-sided, 20-sided, all that stuff. So you can play any role-playing game with this. That's kind of neat. And for 10,000 Worlds, the custom role-playing game, the role-playing game that I'm making, that I want. It uses certain types of dice. It's different from other. I mean, it's six-sided dice, but it's different six-sided dice. As you can see here, it's got like yes minus, yes plus, no minus. This is a no plus, and that sort of thing. And the way this works is I can basically tap my phone screen, and it'll roll the dice automatically. And you don't have to worry about that value right there. But what this says, yeses and nos cancel out each other. It's successes or fails. Yes is a success, no is a fail. In this particular case, and you usually would ignore, what does yes minus mean? Well, yeah, here's the yeses and nos cancel out each other. You don't have to worry about this white dice right now, because that's a dice that I'm going to add in later on. Just looking at the black dice, 2 nos, 2 yeses. Yeses and nos cancel out each other. So that means not a success, not a fail. And if it's not a success, it's not a fail. So if you were to perform an action like jumping over a fence or picking a lock or something like that, let's say Stewie is a thief and he's picking a lock, on a house. He's trying to break into somebody's house. Let me roll again. I'll just do it with another roll. So he rolls this. Ignore the white one. Look at the black one. You got 2 yeses and 2 nos. So that's not a success. So you didn't fail. It's just you couldn't for some reason with the locker you couldn't make it work. And then the pluses and minuses cancel out each other. So in this particular case, with 1 plus and 1 minus, those are the pluses and minuses are circumstances. Like, does anything else happen? Like a yes minus would be, yes, you succeeded, but something happened. You succeeded in picking the lock. However, unbeknownst to you, you triggered the silent alarm, and you weren't aware of it. So that's what a yes minus would mean. So right here, in looking at these dice, you have yes and yes, no and a no. 2 successes, 2 fails means you didn't pick the lock. Plus and a minus cancel out each other. So as it stands right now, you couldn't do it. Nothing bad really happened. You didn't break a pick or anything like that. You didn't do it. Now, where this white dice comes into play is, do you follow along so far? Do you get that so far, Stu? Let me know if you get that one. Where this white dice comes in is, it's like a temptation dice. It's a mechanic called temptation dice or ghost dice, or hey Todd, thanks for joining us. The yes plus, basically you could use that white dice right now to change one of the dice, the black dice that you rolled, and it would give you an advantage now, but somewhere down the road it could mean something bad happens to you later on, at the cost of something maybe later on, a little twitch, a little twist in the plot at the storyteller's disclosure. So what you do is you take, no minus is obviously the worst one of the whole thing. So you take the no minus, you replace it with a yes plus. So what does that give you? It gives you 3 yeses and 1 no. A no and a yes cancel out each other, so you have 2 yeses, you have a success. Yeah, by changing to the yes plus, by using that yes plus dice, it means right now you improve your chances. It's called using the strange. These are strange dice. So it's like using the tempting fate, using your luck, something like that. So you use this yes plus to influence your roll, with it being a yes, yes, no, and a yes. Yes and no's binding each other, so you got 2 successes, 2 yeses. So there you go. You succeed. And on top of that, no, you could use it on any roll. It's just I would make a note. If you were playing the character and I'm running the game, I would just make a little note that something somewhere down the line might happen to you. I can turn things around. Like maybe later on down the road, when you try to shoot somebody with your gun to stop them, I may jam your gun. somewhere down the line, some twist might happen. You know, you you get a phone call, or you're trying to call somebody up, and it turns out to be your mortal enemy, or something that realizes your location, or just some kind of story element that you could twist on that. But no, for the most part, you can use it whenever. It's just there's a cost. There's a cost for changing the dice like that, for manipulating fate, accessing the strange, as I call it. So in this particular roll, using this one, you also have two pluses, which means that's a one. A plus would mean a minor fortunate thing happened. Two pluses would mean a major positive thing happened, or two minor positive things happened, whichever the case. So let's say in this case, if you use this dice, you've managed to pick the lock successfully, no problem whatsoever, and something really fortunate happens. Like, not only did you pick the lock, but I know we try to decide what would be a good thing that would happen. You did it quietly with no effect whatsoever. Once you open the door, you also realize the fact that there was a dog that's sleeping, or you notice a positive thing would be that you find riches. Well, let's say if you're walking into a house and you're picking a lock, you pick the lock, and once you do that, you open the door, and like I said, that they have a dog that's sleeping, and he's totally unaware that you just entered the house, or something like that, or yeah, so something along those lines. You do it completely silently. If there was any security system, they're not aware that you're there, or maybe you even by unlocking the door, you did it in such a way there is a security system, and you just disarm the security system by entering the lock in the door. It recognizes, oh, the owner must be here because the certain keys used with their security system. So you turn off the security system altogether, cameras are off, and everything's off, and something like that. So those are examples of things that you can do. The cool part about the game is the improv of it is everybody coming up with different ideas, everyone coming up with a different suggestion to make the story go even further. What happened? And then what happened in addition to that? And then you just continue with the story that way. Good things and bad things can happen, and that's just something that it leaves it more to the story and people working together to come up with a neat story than, what is the armor class of this, and then what is the damage that my weapon does, and how many points, and looking up rules and stuff like that. This just cuts through all that stuff to make it possible for people who may have never played role-playing games to jump in and play something fun. And we just all work together to make the story interesting. If you were to do a roll and it was a minus, if a negative thing happened, then we can all come up with something together to come up with some sort of a minus, some sort of negative thing. Here's an example right here. Yeah. Some you have some rewards around the way. Like if you picked a lock, it turned out that the house that you're searching for could have some riches or something like that, if that's what you're looking for, or you can continue the plot that way. You find a nice watch, right immediately as you open the door, you see this stand next to the doorway, and in that stand is a really expensive watch and a set of keys, spare set of keys, whatever. So yeah, you can decide things like that. In this particular roll here, you have 3 yeses and 1 no. So without using the white dice, this would mean you have 3 successes, 1 fail. A fail and a success cancel out each other, so you have 2 successes, but you have a negative thing. So if that means that we could figure out you successfully did something else, but something, unfortunately, when you're trying to sneak around the house and you accidentally knock over a lamp or something, make some noise. You successfully sneak across the house, but something happens. You pull a cord, or Step on a plug, exactly. Something, yeah, exactly. Something like that. Something, a little minor thing can happen. You smash the window or you smash the mirror, and it kind of like nobody really heard it, but the mirror's broken. Just the way you landed on it kind of snapped it or something. It's something like that. So you leave some evidence behind that you were there. So even though you're trying to be stealthful and move around the house, someone will know that you were there. That kind of thing. Or maybe a neighbor, even though you're really quiet through the house, maybe a neighbor was looking through their window or something, and they noticed little things like that. We could come up with some cool stuff. How would the story end? The story doesn't end. It's up to the guy, the person running the game, the referee, the dungeon master, the game master, whatever. It's up to the person running the game to create the story for you. You know, if you're saying you're a cat burglar, or if you're saying you're a security guard, or you're a pirate or a ninja, or you're a space captain, or you're James Bond, or whatever. It's just it would be my responsibility if I'm running the game to put a story in front of you so that you can decide what your character does and where he goes and that sort of thing. And I make the world respond as you go about your business. I've set forth some sort of a purpose, some sort of a plot for you. Like if you're James Bond, I set up the mission. You know, if there's weird things happen, and, you know, you're a steward, and you're you get a part-time job working in security for a band um, at a local pub, and so you're basically working for them, and your job has basically been to load stuff and unload stuff, and you hear some smashing of bottles outside the door as you're working your gig, and you find out that these kids are rummaging through the band trailer trying to get some merch, trying to get some stuff, the souvenirs or whatever. And so it would be your thing to be like, well, I'm protecting this band, so I got to go chase after these guys. So you go and try to stop these guys. One of them gets away. You manage to capture the other one. How do you do that? Do you notify anybody else that's there, the bouncer, or you notify the authorities or whatever? Do you find something to trap this guy in the trailer, or handcuff him, or subdue him, or something like that? And then you have to go chase after the other guy. And as you're chasing after the other guy, he jumps over a fence. You got to jump after him and try to track him down. You manage to get him, and he's got the stuff. And it's just the story progresses like that. The story doesn't necessarily end unless, in like a television episode, you have a beginning and an end. These people that were stealing things were only stealing things because they thought that the band that you had they have certain props. They're a metal band, so they have certain props, and one of the props was like a legit skull. It wasn't a fake skull; it was a real skull, and the skull had some runes and stuff on it. Somebody just got it at a yard sale because they thought it'd be nice, but it wasn't actually. It has like real runes. It's an actual magic item that could be used in some sort of spell. And these guys were in a cult, and so you figure out that these runes and everything. The guy explains as you're beating him up, you're intimidating him. You know, why are you trying to steal this stuff? And he's like, we need this. It belongs to us. It belongs to the cult. And you're like, what cult? So you have to investigate the cult and find out what they needed the spell for, and then maybe somewhere down the line you have to, you know, track down this cult and stop the thing from happening, from them opening a dimensional door, and then you start to find out, holy crap, magic's real, and weird things, and somebody else was investigating too, and they saw that you were on the case, and they're like, hey, you know, you're pretty good in a pinch, you're pretty good in a fight, you know, do you want to help me out with some adventures? And then suddenly you're there, you know, you're helping out this other guy that does adventuring, and now instead of hired on for the band, you're hired as the muscle for this guy. So you follow him around on further adventures, and then you end up doing further adventures later on down the road. So it's like different things that you can do like that. Just create stuff and have fun and have wacky adventures and move on. So the other thing I'm looking to do is I want to set up some sort of a whiteboard. I mean, I could do just like paint. I suppose I could just use paint for something like that. Do we have paint on this thing? Windows, accessories, paint. I guess we could just do this. Status bar? No. Yeah, remove status bar. So there. So now what I could do is I could just use paint here and say describe certain things like, okay, here's the room that you have where the band's playing. There are double doors right here. There's a little bar, a little fridge right here, and then behind the bar is another door to like a storage space in the back. This is where the sound guy is. We get some tables here, some booths against the wall, and then a couple tables here. And then here's the load-in area for the band out in the parking lot. And then this is the stage. And this is a little area here, the little section where people, like a little railing. And so there you got the lights in the stage, or the drum kit, and the amplifiers, microphones. So you can set up something like that and say, okay, that's how you're setting up there. That's make a little map, little drawings. I want to get some cool looking maps and stuff. There are apps out there like Roll D20. The main thing was I wanted to get the dice on the screen so that everybody can see the dice. And then maybe if we could have a certain area marked off for somewhere around here. Have this area where we could show other people, or have a thumbnail of about my size. Like, oops, what's wrong? Let me grab my camera. Could have other people up around here, and me down here in the corner. And then this area right here could be a whiteboard, maybe. I don't know. It's worth. I wanted to take a look at it now that I'm getting a better idea about broadcasting, and I got the dice and everything on the board. Maybe this wouldn't even need to take up so much space either. Well, then I can't. How do I minimize that? Make that take less space. It's about as little space as it could take. Well, that's not going to give us too much. I guess there's really no way you can make that tinier. So there, got dice. Plenty of area for a browser or whatever. If I want to put music on, I can put music on. Chat. Wonder how GIMP would work. If I used GIMP. GIMP's not a bad idea because GIMP has a separate drawing board from all the other stuff. So maybe GIMP might be the way to go. And it doesn't use a new. Okay. And where are the other controls for this? Tools? Show grid. Show status bar. Let's see, view grid, show grid. It's not really showing me a grid. When you team up with people and complete a mission, do they get equal attributes as you? Not necessarily. Here we go, single window mode. Nope, that ain't working. Not necessarily. You don't always get same abilities. There's it just depends on the type of thing that other people wanna do. Like it's based off of character when you're playing the game. If your character is strong, if your character is fast, if your character is sneaky, you know, you decide what type of character, what type of attributes your character has, and it's not like Dungeons and Dragons where it's strength and constitution, dexterity, and all that stuff, and you have certain stats. I don't want it to be based off of stats. I'd rather have it be based off of just what your guy can do. So like you have certain characteristics, I guess you could say. You decide what your character is good at. And there are positive characteristics and negative characteristics. And the more positive stuff you want, you have to balance out with negative, just to to make it fair. Normally, and I wanted to keep it like very generic, like three things. What's three things about your character that you could say? Um, Charismatic, and uh, good with tools, and good with driving a car. Three things that you pick. So that would give you there could be major or minor advantages. So you pick three things, and then you pick one negative thing, and that's usually your character. Who your make? Who my make? What would the negatives be? Like jealous, short temper, gambling debt. You know, maybe they're addicted to gambling, some sort of addiction. A lot of disadvantages, and you can come up with a whole bunch of stuff. Claustrophobic, agoraphobic. You're wanted by the police for some reason, or you're being watched by a certain group. Um, Maybe you get a bad hand, or you have some sort of an injury that makes it difficult for you to do certain things. All right. Toolbox default colors. Where's the Windows that I need? New toolbox. How do I detach this toolbox though? There we go. There's layers. That's the one I'm looking for. And there's my toolbox. Sweet. So I don't need you guys at all here. Windows, hide docs. Nope, that was wrong. I was wrong. Hide docs. Tools. View. Single window mode. There we go. There. So now I can access other things with that. So I got a whiteboard and dice. There you go. That's kind of cool. Who your make? I don't know what who your make is. So now I can download maps and stuff and game boards and have them on the screen. And then I can take things like, see if I can do this. Let me find a map just to get an idea. I'm going to download a map really quick. Or even like Google Map, I could do something like that too, but let's see. It'd be Battle Map, wouldn't it? Yeah, it'd be Battle Map. But, okay, it's not letting me do it. Copy that. Select, paste. Edit, paste. Edit, paste. There you go. There's a room right there. Now, if I want to do parts, let's see, Rebel Base. If I want to do somebody in the hallway or something, I can grab that. Nope, that's wrong. Tool options. Path layers, channel, navigation, pointers, sample, colors, brushes. Brushes? Can I select that now? Select. Nope, that's wrong. How do I create a floating object on here? That's selecting. Shear. Tools. Path. Oh, I know what I can do. All right, I got it. I got it. I can do layers. I can do another layer. That's what it is. Second layer. New layer. Transparent. And now I can draw on top of this. All right, so now I can draw on top of this. Bear with me, guys. I'm sorry. Is that... Got some options here. brush size. Okay, so this is your guy. I click on that, come up with a different color. That's Stuart. This is all happening on the same layer, and I could just like remove the layer. Cool. So if I say, okay, well, you want to move from here over to, let's see, over to here, so then I can erase that part. There you go, you moved. Ah, there you go. Okay, so there, I got the pieces where the people are, identified by certain colors. I could even type in if I wanted to that that was Stuart. Or maybe I could just do that. Maybe I can just grab the guy. Can I just grab you and move you? Nope. Move. Nope. Is that the move thing? Nope. Nope. How do I move though? There we go. All right. All right. Well, I can figure something out like that. But that's a neat idea. I like the idea of having a separate layer. I could just erase, redraw people. How do you deselect? Hey, Yerma. Thanks for joining. Duplicate, merge, scale, add layer, mask, remove alpha channel. All right. So we're coming up with a decent idea. Alrighty. All right, so I was just messing around for that for a little bit. Hey, Belbo, what's going on, man? I was goofing off with some stuff, trying to figure out how I can get like some good gameplay. Do some role playing, cooking, cool. FaZe Dagnostar. What's up, FaZe? Nothing much. Cool. Open Thunder. Hi, Michelle. Thunder's here. Thunder's right over here, as a matter of fact. Come here, honey. Come here, sweetheart. She doesn't want nothing to do with anybody. Meow. Come here, honey. I'll show you. She's like right here. Hey, beautiful. She doesn't want nothing to do with me, though. There she comes. Hi, honey. Oh, you stepped on my phone. Your doggy passed. I'm sorry. Sorry to hear that. She's like, Matt, Dad, stop it. Yep. A whole bunch of no. I'm sorry to hear about your dog, though. How did I get the chat on the window? I'm using OBS. I'm using my computer. I'm broadcasting out to YouTube and Twitch and Periscope at the same time. And if somebody were to get on Periscope or somebody get on Twitch or YouTube, they could show themselves as well. Doggy cancer. Sorry. Let me see if I can add something on here. Add. What is it? Window capture? Browser source? So what if I do that? Hold on, kids. I think I got it here. I think I got an idea. That. And then I move it all the way. I just try to drop it, make it really tiny. Right in the corner. Boom. Look at that. Hi, David. Hi, Gump. There we go. What are your OBS settings? When I streamed Call of Duty, it seemed a bit laggy for the viewers. Honestly, I'm so new to this. I don't know what I did to make it work. It just worked. I have a really nice computer, and I just do all the default stuff. So I don't know. I don't know what I did. I guess you usually keep it. I don't know, like 30 frames per second or something like that. Yeah, I have no idea. Let me just say that. I kind of remember what I did, but show us your dog. I don't have a dog. Hi, Chanel. How you doing, darling? What's going on? So now I can do this. I can make dice roll. Oh, rig. Gotcha. Yeah, I can show you right now what I got. It's kind of cool. This is new. I know, right? This is my new setup. I got this. I'm going to put this in the studio at some point. But yeah, this is. I got the dice thing set up. That's kind of cool. Can you stream from Friday the 13th? I don't have Friday the 13th. I don't have that one. I got a few games on Steam, Grand Theft Auto and uh, and that sort of thing. But if I minimize you, no, it'll just that'll move the whole screen, so I can't do that. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I can't stream a video game I don't play. But I'm trying to set up stuff for a whole lot of things. I've talked about Alliance of Violence, and so I showed a little bit of that earlier. Some of the stuff that I wanted to do for Alliance of Violence, and this is 10,000 Worlds. This is an actual pen and paper role-playing game that I want to do. I want to play with some folks on the air, over Periscope and YouTube. A game that I made. These are like custom dice and stuff right here, and I'm just playing a little bit, experimenting a little bit. I want to stream some of the stuff that I'm doing because I want people to see that I'm really trying to do stuff. I don't just say, man, I want to do a lot of things, and then once I turn off Periscope, I'm sitting on my ass not doing anything, or watching television, or just hanging out in my pool. This is something that I want to do for a living, every day of the week, if I could, as much as I can. Create fun stuff that people can enjoy. Because I want to do games. I want to do like board games and stuff on, like tabletop games, not board games. Board games are different, but tabletop games, and do podcasts, interview people. And this is just one of those projects that I'm working on now. And I can do stuff like this. Ooh. Ah. I can make stuff disappear. Oof. Pa-da. Working on it. Yeah. I think it's cool. And I can talk to people on like Twitter if I want to talk on Twitter. I can talk to people in voice chat. I get a voice chat thing that I'm setting up. Do like a call-in show. Get bands of musicians to contribute music so I can play some music that I have permission to play. So I don't have to worry about any copyright crap. Not that it's crap, it's important, but yeah. I'm an Apple guy except my smartwatch. You gotta, wait, you're an Apple guy except for your smartwatch. What do you have for a smartwatch? You don't have one of those Apple watches? What other smartwatches are there other than Apple ones? Are there like Android smartwatches? And my rig's pretty easy. I can show you guys real quick. Let me get rid of this here. So, Android Wear 2 Moto 630. Oh, okay, cool. So this is one screen that I have for the controls, the chat and OBS. And then this right here is my computer monitor where I get all the rest of my stuff if I want to play. And Pam's calling me apparently, so I gotta answer that real quick. Hold on a second. Hi, honey. Girlfriend, hi. You're on the air.
Oh, man, again?
She's on the phone.
I'm on my way home.
Okay, I'll see you when you go home.
Bye. Okay.
Love you. Bye.
Love you, bye.
Okay. So, yeah, get back to what I was saying. In fact, I could just get rid of that now. Get rid of that thing on my phone. All right. So here's what you're looking at here. Keyboard, mouse, monitor, second monitor. Got some lights in the background there. That's where I put my phone. If I want to read Periscope read along with Periscope while I'm doing my thing. And then that's my computer. Oh. That's the old stormtrooper right there. And I'm just I'm getting the whole thing set up so that when I figure out how I have two 5K displays. Nice. I'm figuring out how stuff works. So once I put it into my studio, I got a studio in my yard on my property. So figure out how this thing works and kind of things I can do. Be able to jump on here with more people. Oh, yeah. That's about it. I gotta close all that stuff up. Okay, so Pam's on her way home. I think that she's trying to clue me in on or give me a hint that I need to. So how do I get off of this broadcasting thing? The mirror and then stop. Yeah, that's how I do it. Sweet. Okay, I figured out how to do that. Okay, I'm gonna get going here. But thanks very much for hanging out with me for a little bit while I'm figuring stuff out. I'm just gonna be goofing off a little bit here and there when I'm trying out new things. I like the idea of doing it while I'm broadcasting so that people can see what I'm trying to get into. People can come by and I can say hi. So thanks very much for chilling out with me, and I will check you guys. I'll check you guys later on. Have a wonderful day, and I'll try to get on. I'll try to get on later on in the afternoon. But love your face.